Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Jaya Lakshmi Narayana Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gita Gora Hari Bol, नाम संकीर्तन की जय। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। पतित पावन गुरु महाराज की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्तवृंद की जय। जय गौर सीतानाथ देवानंद। Okay. We'll read from Bhagwat Gita 9.3 today. BG 9th chapter 3rd shloka. Everybody has it open. Meanwhile, we'll offer prayers to Guru and Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Om Ajnanaatimirandhasya. ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। Together, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshnaye Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Nitanamne Nama Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Padayane Gaurakatha Namdana Viranamne. Okay, so we'll study from the shloka. Please repeat after me. Ashraddha Danaha Purusha धर्मस्यास्य परन्तप अप्राप्य मां निवर्तन्ते मृत्यु संसार वर्तमानि। अश्रद्धादानाः पुरुषा धर्मस्यास्य परन्तप अप्राप्य मां निवर्तन्ते मृत्यु संसार वर्तमनि। अश्रद्धादानाः पुरुषा धर्मस्यास्य परन्तप अप्राप्य मां निवर्तन्ते मृत्यु संसार वर्तमनि। Any other volunteers to chant the shloka? अश्रद्धदानाः पुरुषा धर्मस्यास्य परन्तप अप्राप्य मां निवर्तन्ते मृत्यु संसार वर्तमनि। One more, anybody else?
Ashraddhadana
Purusha Dharmasyasya Parantapa
Aprapya Mam
Nivartante
Mrityu Samsara
Vartamani. Three volunteers for the translation.
Those who are not faithful in this devotional service cannot attain me, O conqueror of enemies. Therefore, they return to the path of birth and death in this material world.
Okay, we'll skip the purport because it's a little big. We'll discuss this shloka. So, here, this chapter, it is titled The Most Confidential Knowledge. So Bhagavad Gita itself is like the most confidential secret from all the Shastras. And this chapter is right in the middle. Out of 18 chapters, this is right in the middle, 9th chapter. English is okay or?
Yeah,
Little bit. Okay. I'll talk slowly and I can translate in other languages. Okay. So here in this chapter, the most confidential knowledge, just before the shloka, Krishna says that this knowledge he is giving in the Bhagavad Gita is Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmam Susukam Kartum Aveyam. So he says that this is Raja Vidya, this is the king of all knowledge. And Raja Guhyam, Guhyam means secret, is the most secretive knowledge. And Pavitram Idam Uttamam, this is the topmost knowledge that one can receive. And it's very, very pure. And Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmam, this knowledge should be practiced, practically applied. And Susukam Kartum Aveyam, when we practice, we get happiness. And here, Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmam, what does Dharma mean? What do you think Dharma means?
doing the right thing.
Okay, that's one definition. Dharma is a very broad term. That's why I'm asking, what does it mean here? So Dharma can mean duties. Dharma can mean responsibility. Like I might have a dharma as a son, as a daughter, as a wife, as a husband, as a citizen. So many other dharmas we have as an employee, right? But in the Shastras, whenever the word dharma comes, especially in the scriptures like Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, here it refers, dharma, Prabhupada mentions that dharma means the intrinsic nature. So the dharma of sugar is to be sweet. The dharma of salt is to be salty, right? So every element has its intrinsic nature. So what is the dharma of the soul? Yeah, to basically love God. Jivera Swarupa Hoy, Krishnera Nityadas. So as spirit soul, the Shastras say that our intrinsic nature is to render loving devotional service to the Lord, right? So doing that is dharma here. Here it is not talking about the lower other forms of dharma that generally can be addressed here, right? So here it said when that dharma is practiced, when devotional service is practiced, one experiences a lot of happiness. Susukam kartum avyayam. So right after that, Krishna tells this shloka where he says, Ashraddha Danaha Purusha. So in this shloka, Krishna is sort of emphasizing on the importance of faith. He's mentioning faith as the foundational element of spiritual life, as the beginning of bhakti. There are 9 stages of bhakti, 9 steps of bhakti as per Kadamba Madhuri. Anybody knows the 9 steps? Shravanam, those are 9 angas of bhakti given by Prahlad Maharaj. These are 9 steps. So it is Adau Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivriti, Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prema. I'll explain these in some time now. But what is the first one I said?
Adau Shraddha.
Shraddha. Shraddha is preliminary faith, basic faith. So that faith is the first step, that's the foundation. Not just in spiritual life, even in our material life, faith is a very, very important element of it, right? If we go to a barber shop and we get a shave, we just lift our neck like this and allow him to keep a blade here and shave. If he cuts it even a little bit, gone, our life is gone. But we trust he will do that. When we go into an airplane, right, then we don't know the pilot personally. We don't know the engineers who build the aircraft, but we trust them. And in the air, we don't have any control, but we have faith that, it'll be fine. So when we go to a chef, when we go to a hotel and order food, we talk to the waiter. We don't see the chef, we don't see the kitchen, it's somewhere behind. But we trust them that they'll make hygienic, very nourishing food and they give us. And we pay them for that. Similarly, teachers as well, when we were young, when teacher said this is A, this is B, we had faith. We didn't say, I won't believe all this. If we had said that, we wouldn't have been literate, right? So, faith in some form is very, very necessary, even in material life, not just in spiritual life. But one thing to understand is it is not random, blind faith. It is not illogical, irrational faith. It is very, very logical in the sense that when we go to the barber to get that shave, right? If a child is standing there, naughty child, instead of the barber with the blade, we won't allow him to give us a shave. If the son of the pilot is riding in the cockpit instead of the pilot, we won't enter that flight, right? So like that, we are very careful where we place our faith. So it's not just random blind faith. Even when we come to spiritual path, when we place our faith, we should be very, very careful. When we buy something in Amazon or Flipkart or something, and we like a product, we finalize the product, what is the first thing we do? We
Add to cart.
add to cart, but we go to the reviews and we see customer review. Those who have already bought it, what is their response? Do they like it? Do they not like it? Right? Similarly, in the spiritual path also, this is what we do when we refer to acharyas and their commentaries, their purports and all of that. These are the people who have walked this path. They have perfected their life in this path. Now seeing what their realizations are will give us more faith to walk in that path. Seeing how they have perfected it, right? So faith, whether in material terms or spiritual terms, is extremely necessary. Even for us to go out of the house, the creator of this whole material universe, who is that?
Krishna.
Krishna is, main creator, secondary creator.
Brahmaji.
Brahma created this material universe, and Brahma, in his prayers to Krishna, in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, he says, Samashrita padapallavaplavam mahatpadam punyayasho murari bhavambudirvatsa padam padam yat vipadam natesham. So he says, padam yat vipadam natesham. In every step, there is vipada, there is danger in the world that Brahma himself created, right? So, but still we go out of the house, we go to office, we go out, we do our work, we do all of that. So why? Because we have faith that when I go out, I'll come back safely. If we didn't have faith, all of us wouldn't have come here also. We'd be stuck in the house only. Okay? So for every step, in every breath, we place faith in different people, different things in this material world. But when it comes to the Lord, that is where we falter. And here Krishna is saying, Ashraddha Danaha Purusha. Those people who lack that faith, that basic intrinsic faith on what? Dharma Syasya Parantapa, on Dharma. This is the same Rajadharma, Rajaguyam that Krishna mentioned previously about rendering devotional service to the Lord. When we don't have that faith, then Krishna is saying what happens is Aprapya Mam. Prapya means, it comes from the word Prapta, means to attain. Aprapya Mam means they will not attain me. People who lack faith will not attain me, and not just that, Aprapya Mam Nivartante. They will come back to Mrityu Samsara Vartamani. They'll come back into the cycle of birth and death and keep repeating in this. They'll get stuck in this. They won't come out at all. Now this might seem like a very harsh statement from the Lord. No, how can Lord be so insensitive? How can he say that, hey, you either believe what I'm saying, otherwise you suffer in this material world, right? What do you think? How do you think we should understand this? Is the Lord very harsh, very insensitive when he says such things that if you don't have faith, you will suffer?
If I have to simplify this, it's like my kids. I know what is right for them, but they don't accept. They'll cry, they'll shout, they'll howl, and they'll still want to do their own way.
Yeah.
So at times I do let them do what they want to do.
Correct.
And taste it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they come back crying. As like yesterday, Goran was just took this drawer out and he hurt his leg.
Oh, okay.
So Nali would have stopped him 10 times. He didn't
Okay.
hear.
He didn't.
Then he again came crying to her only. Mama, sticker laga do ye wo. No. So now that he realizes कि चोट लगा है, so
Yeah.
probably he'll not be able to.
No, yeah.
So as a father, like if Lord created everything, including us, He knows everything. There's a padam, it's
There's
a
danger,
vipta.
yeah.
He knows everything. That every step there's a danger.
Yeah.
But we don't accept.
Yeah.
We still want to drive pleasure in everything.
Yeah.
It can be as small as driving a car. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
So everything we feel that there's some thrill that we can derive out of it.
Yeah.
So Lord cannot step us. He has given Bhagavad Gita, He's given Bhagavatam.
Correct.
He has written everything like, as a manual. But
Correct.
how many of us have the faith to accept it as is? Yeah.
Correct.
Like we say, Brahmana is one who reads, hears from
Shastra.
others and learns it. But we are not Brahmanas. You know,
Yeah.
पहले शूद्र संहिता हम सब शूद्र ही हैं. You know, we
Yeah.
have that mentality of शूद्र कि करेंगे चोट लगेगी then सीखेंगे. Probably. अगर वो भी सीख जाए तो अच्छी
Sometimes,
बात है.
yeah, that also
Yeah,
be
that's
good.
also a big thing.
Yeah.
If we learn from that. So point is very simple that if, as a loving father, even I deliberate this thought a lot. Why can't remove lust from us, anger from her, and we तो problem ही नहीं है ना? Then the problem is solved. But the problem is like kids only.
Yeah.
We cannot control them. It's like tying their hands and legs and keeping them in one corner,
Correct.
which any father and mother will not do it.
Yeah.
So if He is Supreme Father, is so loving, and I can't fathom also the love and affection that He has for me,
True.
so then He'll allow. That's what I interpret.
Very nice point. I'll talk about that part as well, where you mentioned, no, sometimes you wonder why doesn't He remove all anarthas? Why doesn't He take us back? So He's so merciful, so loving, so compassionate. Why is He allowing us to be here? So we'll talk about that also in a while from now. But to this point, like you rightly mentioned, right? A father or a parent also, they tell the child that if the child is eating junk, the parents will say, if you eat this, you will get stomach pain and you will suffer. Or if the child doesn't study, they'll say in the future you will suffer, your life will be miserable in the future. it doesn't mean the parents are wanting ill for the child. They are just lovingly giving caution to the child that if you make the wrong choices, you will face consequences for it. That is what Krishna is doing in statements like this. Whenever we come across such statements in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Puranas, Upanishads, this is the mood that we should understand in. That here Krishna is not threatening us, but rather he is, just lovingly giving us a caution that you make these choices and this is what you will face, right? So here he's saying faith is the primary thing. Having faith is very important, right? There's this very beautiful story of Narada, cobbler, Brahmana. How many of us are aware of that story? You heard? You want to share that story, Mataji, quickly?
Narada comes down.
Yeah.
Then one Brahmana will be sitting under the people tree, another one will be sitting under the
No,
banyan tree.
Brahmana will be at
Straight
home.
up.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, Prabhu.
Brahmana will be serving
So
deity.
you say about that he was putting elephant.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I know. But you cannot be said.
Okay. So basically, there was a Brahmana who was very ritualistic, very nice, doing all his duties. Narada Muni was passing by. That Brahmana stopped Narada and said, "Whenever you go meet the Lord next, can you ask him when I will come back?" Okay. So Narada said, "Fine." Then when he was going ahead, he saw a cobbler, illiterate, uneducated, doesn't know Shastra, sitting under a banyan tree, and he was stitching shoes. So Narada went to him. Cobbler greeted Narada, and he also said, "Can you ask the Lord when I will come?" Narada thought, that Brahmana was very nice, ritualistic, knows the Shastra. This fellow doesn't know anything. So why is he even asking? How does he even have hope? But Narada went to the Lord. He met the Lord. And he asked the Lord about this. The Lord said, the cobbler will come back to me at the end of this life. The Brahmana will take millions of lifetimes more to come back. And Narada was surprised. He was shocked. Why is he saying like this? So then he asked the Lord, how can I understand this? So the Lord said, not necessary, bro. This is a very informal setting, no? Like this. Krishna. Okay. So yeah, then Narada asked the Lord that how is that the cobbler is coming back right away, but Brahmana is taking so long. So then the Lord said, you just tell them that when they ask you, did you see the Lord? What was he doing? Tell them that the Lord was stitching an elephant through the eye of a needle, right? So Narada said, what is this nonsense? How can you do that? What is this? So he said, yes, you just go ask, then you will get your answer. So Narada comes down, he meets the Brahmanas. The Brahmana asks him, did you go see the Lord? What was my Lord doing? And Narada says, he was stitching an elephant through eye of a needle. And the Brahmana got angry. Narada, you are making fun of me, you are joking, you didn't even go, you are making some excuse, how can you do like this? So he scolded, criticized Narada, sent him out. Narada expected this. Then he goes to the cobbler. He asked him. The cobbler asked, what was my Lord doing? And Narada Muni said he was stitching an elephant through eye of a needle. Immediately the cobbler started crying, tears in his eyes, tears of joy. He was like, my Lord, he is so wonderful. He can do all miracles. And Narada said, hey, how are you so simple and foolish? Is it even possible to put an elephant through the eye of a needle? How can you believe that? So the cobbler said, I'm sitting under a banyan tree. This huge banyan tree came from a small seed. If that Lord can put the huge tree inside a small seed, can't he put an elephant through the eye of a needle, right? So then Narada understood that this faith is based on like love and logic and all that. It's not just blind faith. So this is the same faith that Krishna is expecting from us as well, right? And when we have this faith, then what happens? Then that's the 9 stages. Adav Shraddha, that's a preliminary faith. Then that faith becomes intense by Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivrati. So I think I've mentioned what these are in previous classes, so I'll quickly skim through it. And the 5th one is Nishtha. Nishtha is also faith, Shraddha is also faith. But Shraddha is the preliminary faith. Nishtha is the strong faith that we've walked the process, we've done 4 steps. So now we know this works, that is Nishtha. And after Nishtha is Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prema. 9 stages, right? And it's mentioned after Nishtha stage, nobody falls down. A jiva doesn't fall down, they keep going ahead towards Prema stage, pure love for the Lord. But there is an example in Bhagavatam where a devotee was at Bhava stage, at the footstep of Prema, and there he fell down. Anybody knows who is that devotee? Bharat Maharaj in the 5th canto, right? So Bharat Maharaj, he was the son of Rishabhadev, who was an incarnation of the Lord himself. And Bharat Maharaj was very nice, very righteous king, but he left the kingdom at youth only. He renounced everything, went to the forest, started meditating on the Lord. But then what happened? Anybody knows?
Yeah, the deer story.
He saw the deer.
A mother deer trying to protect the kid.
Yeah.
She dies.
Yeah.
So the deerling became very dear to him, and he started taking care of the deer like a father.
Yeah.
So it's so much so that he's kind of tapasya and bhakti started getting disturbed. He started meditating more on the deer, how she eats, how she walks, etc. And one fine day he couldn't find her, and out of fear that man would have eaten or some animal would have eaten, he falls down and kind of leaves his body.
Yeah.
So, and because of that, he gets a deer's body in the next life.
Next life, yeah. And then that's the end.
Yeah. So no. So of course. So since he was already a devotee,
Yeah.
he could remember his past lifetime.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what happened to me. So in this lifetime, he did lots of austerity, that he stayed near the temple, eating the prasadam or leaves around the temple and all.
Yeah.
And probably it was a lesson from the Lord to teach him that this is and for us basically, not to him,
Yeah.
basically to us, that if a person, a devotee at a bhava stage can fall down,
Yeah.
if he gets materially attached to, and it is very powerful. Maya is so powerful that this is a real lesson for us, that somebody renouncing everything and then falling prey to this type of
Yeah.
and it's not a wrong feeling also. If you think that from that material aspects, a fatherly feeling is not a wrong feeling.
Yeah.
But is it the highest? Is it that at a bhava stage somebody will have attraction for a deer and stop meditating or not, rather focus on those things?
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. So then after that year, he comes again as Bharat. This time he comes as Jada Bharat in the third life. And then he meets Maharaj Rahugana, and then he gives him instructions. Those instructions are mentioned in Bhagavatam. So it's become like immortal, the instructions that Bharat Maharaj gives. Now in all of this, if you see, he was at the stage of Bhava and he fell down. And right now I said, if you have Shraddha in these steps, if you go to Nishtha, after there is no falling down, right? So then it's contradictory. How can someone fall down from there? But in Madhurya Kadamini it's mentioned after Nishtha, no coming back. So what is this, right? This is where, to understand this, we should understand how Krishna's mercy works. Right? Generally we say Lord's mercy, Guru's mercy, but how does it actually work? What is the mechanism there? That is what we need to understand now. So, Krishna's mercy forgives us for our past activities. Everything that we have done in the past, by His mercy, He is willing to forgive us. What is the shloka where He says, all your past karma, I'll take it away? Bhagwat Gita. Yeah. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja sarva papebhyo mokshayishami mahashucha. Saying mahashucha, don't worry, aham tvam sarva papebhyo. All your papas, all your sins you have done in the past, I'll take out if you surrender to me, if you render loving service to me. This is Krishna's promise in the end of Bhagavad Gita, right? Now, this is Krishna's mercy, that mercifully is forgiving us for our past deeds. But forgiveness is of the past. Trust is of the future, right? Krishna forgives us for the past, but He doesn't remove us from the cycle of karma. He still keeps us accountable for our actions, for our choices, even though His mercy is there on us. Right? So, how I'll take an example. If somebody comes to us and asks money, please give me money. Next day they say, we are very sorry, please forgive us. We might forgive them. We might not even ask the money again from them. But next time that fellow comes and says, give me money, will we go give her our locker key, take this key, take how much of our money you want? We won't do, no? Because forgiveness is the past, trust is of the future. In the Bhagavatam, when Krishna's appearance, the whole advent of Lord Krishna, 10th canto, when Kamsa got to know that the 8th child was actually Devi, goddess, and he used to worship Devi. So then after that, when Devi chastised Kamsa, then Kamsa became very respectful towards Devaki and Vasudeva, because he thought these people should be so pure that my worshipable goddess appeared through them. So I tortured them. So he fell at the feet of Devaki and Vasudeva, his sister and brother-in-law, and he begged forgiveness. Please forgive me, for I put a sword on your neck, I made you suffer here, I killed your children, please forgive me. So out of mercy, Devaki and Vasudeva forgave Kamsa. But they did not trust him with the information that the 8th child, who is Krishna, he is in Gokul, he has been there, they didn't give him. Right? Because they forgave him for the past, they don't trust him for the future. Same, this is how mercy works. With the Lord as well, He forgives us for all our past activities, and His kripa is greater than our karma. He takes it all away. But then He still expects us to be accountable for our choices. Now here in Bharat Maharaj's case, Hare Krishna, Bharat Maharaj left everything. He left his Hare Krishna. He left his kingdom and all of that, and then he went to the forest, right? But after going there, he got attached to a deer. Now, like Prabhu, you said, protecting a deer is nothing wrong. Materially or spiritually also, it's not wrong. It's compassion, right? But the problem is that, like you said, Maya is very, very cunning, very, very subtle. How Maya Devi works is very dangerous actually, very careful you have to be. So, because it attacks on our weaknesses. Now for Bharat Maharaj, he was a very righteous, dharmic king. If Maya Devi had sent a prostitute to him and said, enjoy, Bharat Maharaj wouldn't have been tempted by that, right? Or any other thing. She would have given him lot of wealth. He wouldn't have been tempted. He was very dharmic that way, right? So what Maya Devi did, when that Bharat Maharaj left everything and went to the forest and he was meditating, it said that, hey, Bharat Maharaj was a Kshatriya, and by nature he protects his subjects and protects everybody. So Maya attacked him in that weak spot. Then Maya said, here's a deer, you go protect it. And Bharat Maharaj started with protection, but then it slowly over a period of time became such deep attachment and dependence on the deer that even his own personal meditation fell down. Now, if Bharat Maharaj had to continue protecting, exhibiting that nature, he need not leave the kingdom. He could have stayed in kingdom and protected thousands of citizens and animals and all of that. He left all of that and came to the forest for a higher purpose. But Maya again pulled him down. And through his lesson, we also learn how Maya Devi operates. She's so difficult to understand. Now, this is Bharat Maharaj's case. But does that mean Bharat Maharaj does not have Krishna's mercy? No. By his mercy only, he remembered his past life. By his mercy, he gave those instructions to Maharaj Ravana, which became immortalized in Bhagavatam. Right? So mercy is there. But even at the Bhava stage, Bharat Maharaj was held accountable for his choices. Similarly, Ajamila's case also. 80 years of sinful life. All regulations he broke. At the end, just giving up his body, he called his son, Narayan. And Vishnudutas came, told the Yamadutas, you can't take him. Right? So here, we see that Krishna again forgave Ajamila for all the past sins that he did in one holy name utterance. Everything was forgotten, no punishment to Ajamila. But did he go back to Godhead? No. He was given a second chance. Right? He was again given that now, if Lord trusted him so much, that he could have taken him right away, that you come back. But he forgave, but he did not trust. He said, another chance, you prove yourself. Then Ajamila went for 12 years to Haridwar, left everything, served very nicely, chanted the holy name very seriously, and then Vishnudutas came and welcomed him
in the same lifetime.
In that same lifetime.
Okay.
So he left everything and so he went back, right?
Okay.
So this is where, that is the difference between forgiveness and trust. Forgiveness is of the past, trust is of the future. Although Krishna's mercy, by his mercy, he forgives our mistakes, but he doesn't take away the free will. Mercy does not remove responsibility on our part of our choices. So that will still remain with us. That free will, that responsibility will always be with us. That is where we should be very, very careful about what choices we make in life as well. That is where we should understand, now that I have Krishna's mercy, I got association, I got holy name, I got a bona fide guru. Even Guru's mercy works like that. In initiation, he takes away all our karma. Our karma is nullified, zero. But after that doesn't mean I have Guru's mercy, I will do whatever. Because that is the past. But future, that is why it's called initiation. It's the beginning. It's the start. Then we have to prove ourselves as loyal devotees of the Lord and serve Guru nicely. Yeah.
So Guruji, in that case, is that Nishtha statement is not incomplete, the way you said, that from that stage nobody falls down.
Yeah.
But it's incomplete in a way, right? Your free will, and that's the real problem statement for all of us.
Yeah.
The free will is the problem statement right from the beginning. That's why we are here. Yeah. But that still remains even beyond Nishtha.
Yeah, it's not incomplete because here Shraddha is the preliminary faith, right? It's like when I go to if somebody says this doctor is very nice, you go to get a treatment from him. I go to him with some faith, but I go to the doctor, receive the treatment, it cures my disease, then my faith in the doctor is very, very high. So that's the difference between Shraddha and Nishtha. Nishtha is lot of faith because we've seen the process work through Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivrati. Our anarthas are removed, so we get faith in the process. Then we naturally get Ruchi, Bhava and all of that. So in that sense, it is not incomplete. But in the sense that our free will is never taken away. Even when we go back to the spiritual world. That's why we are here as well, right? And that's very important for us to have free will because only then we can serve the Lord, right? If you think about it, why does Krishna have to come in this material world and beg us, you have faith in me, you serve me. Manmana bhava madbhatto madhyaji mam namaskuru mameva shasi satyamete pratijane bhyosime. Like, think about me, serve me, give me water, give me fruit, give me leaf. Why does he have to beg us like this, right? Because he's not seeking followers or servants. He has lot of them in the spiritual world. Material world is just 25%. Spiritual world is 75%. There are unlimited Vaikuntha planets. In Vaikuntha, in Brahma Samhita, second shloka, Lord Brahma is praying, Chintamani prakara sadma shukalpa vriksha lakshya hiteshu surabhira vipalayantam lakshmi sahasra shata samrama sevyamanam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So he says, Lakshmi sahasra shata samrama sevyamanam. Thousands and crores of lakhs of Lakshmi Devis are standing in a queue waiting for an opportunity to serve the Lord. So Krishna already has Lakshmi Devis, Vishnu Dutas, Gopas, Gopis. Every rasa Krishna is enjoying in the spiritual world in the best possible way. Shantaras, Dasyaras, Sakyaras, Madhuryaras, all of these things, Vatsalyaras, he's enjoying everything. And these devotees are top class devotees. Krishna is not holding their hand and making them serve. They are doing lovingly out of their own love, right? Leaving all of that, Krishna is coming down here and begging, you please give me some leaf, some fruit, some flower, right? So that is because, to the earlier point, that Krishna realizes that if we don't love him, if we don't serve him, we'll remain suffering in this material world. So out of concern, he comes here and he tells that. But for us to go back to the spiritual world and love him and serve him, that free will has to be there. That's why free will is not removed, but we are accountable no matter where we go, right? For our choices. Does that answer, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. It does.
Okay.
So, just one question. So all these 9 stages, right?
Yeah.
Is it mandatory to follow the chronological
Yeah.
way?
Yeah,
Step
it
by
goes
step.
through chronology only. We can't skip through that. It's like first 4 stages are climbing up the mountain, next 4 stages are climbing down the mountain. So up is difficult, down is very smooth. So after Anartha Nivritti, that's the difficult part. After that, Nishtha, Ruchi, Bhava, Sakti are very smooth, right? So now we understand that even though we have Krishna's mercy, we should make the right choices. But then the question, how do we know what choices to make in our life, right? What to do? That is where Krishna in 16.24 Bhagavad Gita, he says, Tasmat Shastram Pramanante Karyam Akaryam Vyavastito. So he says that based on scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, you understand Karyam Akaryam, what is to be done, what is not to be done, right? And so that's where for us studying Shastras, especially like Bhagavad Gita, is not a ritualistic activity. It's not something we cover in a red cloth or read it once in an auspicious day and leave it there. For us, we are supposed to read it and make that as a way of our life. Mold our life according to the teachings of the Shastra. For which comes back to the original point of we should have faith. If we think, somebody sat under a tree, wrote this, we don't even know what it is, it might not be true. We can't base our life on that. We can't make the right choices that Krishna expects us to take all the time, right? That is where again faith becomes very important. That now that I have Krishna's mercy, through the Shastras I'll understand what pleases Krishna and serve him in a way that gives pleasure to him. Like Bhima figured out what gives Krishna pleasure, right? I think we've discussed this before as well, but Bhima wanted to please Krishna somehow. So he went to a music teacher, learned music.
Yes.
Because Arjuna sings, Arjuna dances, so he was envious that I also want to serve the Lord. So he went, he learned music, then he started practicing. Yudhishthir and everybody got disturbed. Then they sent Draupadi that you please handle him. Draupadi says this practice, sadhana should be done in seclusion so that there's no disturbance. So you go on the top of the mountain and you do. Bhima goes there, he's doing sadhana there. Then the washerman comes there, running, and he says, oh, it's you, huh? Then Bhima asks, what happened? Why did you come? Washerman says, I'll tell if you don't hit me. And then Bhima says, no, it's okay, you tell. Then the washerman says, no, I didn't find my donkey from last 2 days. And your singing was similar to a donkey crying or shouting. So I thought my donkey is here and I came running looking for it, but I found it's you. Bhima felt very bad. This is why Draupadi sent me. They don't like me singing. This is why Yudhishthir sent me. So he was very sad. He was going back. When he went to the palace, Yudhishthir called him and he said, there's a very important task. I need Krishna here. You go to Dwaraka and bring him. Bhima said, I've been practicing from 2 days. My throat is paining. I'll go eat something, then I'll go. Yudhishthir said, fine, go. Bhima went, started eating and forgot everything. He ate nicely, forgot. Next day Yudhishthir is like, where is Krishna? Bhima is like, sorry, I forgot. And Yudhishthira scolded him, you useless waste, this, that, scolded him, irresponsible, everything. And Bhima started crying. He went to the room, he locked the room, he started crying and he offered prayer to the Lord. That Krishna, when Draupadi called you, she was in this Asat Sabha in Hastinapur and you were somewhere in Dwarka, you came. Do you only come when Draupadi calls? Don't you come when I call? Don't you love me? So he started offering prayers like that. And then there was a knock on the door. Bhima opens the door, the servant came and he said, Yudhishthira Maharaj is calling. So Bhima thought, okay, he's going to punish me now, I'll go. So Bhima goes out, he sees Yudhishthira and Krishna are sitting there, very nicely, lovingly talking. And Yudhishthira is saying, Bhima, I thought you said you didn't call Krishna. See, Krishna is here, he's saying you called. Bhima said, no, but I never went to Dwarka. And Krishna said, I didn't say you came to Dwarka. I said you called me and I came. Right? So then Krishna tells Bhima that all your sadhana, all your practice of music did not please me as much as your prayer of tears that you had in the room now. That pleased me a lot more. And I came here, right? Actually, in the scriptures it is mentioned the fastest vahana, vehicle of the Lord is not Garuda. Garuda travels at the speed of mind. It's very, very fast. But the fastest vehicle for the Lord to travel is the tears, loving tears of his devotees. And devotees cry for him, he comes immediately, right? That's how Bhima figured out what pleases the Lord. There was this Brahmana in Srirangam during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time, South India Yatra. When Mahaprabhu came to Srirangam for 4 months, he was staying there in Chaturmas. He saw that in front of the temple, there's a path where both sides scholarly Brahmanas are sitting and they're chanting shlokas. Very nicely they're reading shlokas. And there's one Brahmana sitting there fully illiterate, keeping Bhagavad Gita upside down and not studying, all wrong pronunciation is doing. And all the other Brahmanas are laughing. See, this fellow simply is doing a show. Mahaprabhu went to him and asked him, why are you doing this? Why do you have to sit here if you have to do this? You can sit somewhere else, no? Or not, show this to everybody. Why are you doing this? And you are studying Ulta. And he was crying also. So Mahaprabhu asked, why are you crying? So then that Brahmana, he said that Vipraka himurka ami shabda arthana jani shuddha shuddha gita padi guru agya mani. So he says Vipraka he, Vipra. That Brahmana said, Murkha ami, I am an illiterate fool. Shabda ashabda na jani. Shabda na jani. So he's saying, basically he's saying that I don't know how to read, how to pronounce, I don't know the meaning, but I'm still doing because Guru Agya Mani. My Guru instructed me that you sit here in this place every day as a service, you read Bhagavad Gita. That's why I'm doing. Whether I understand, I don't understand, that is why I'm doing. And then he said, then why are you crying? He said, I looked at the first page, I see Krishna as the chariot driver of Arjuna. Being a king himself, being a Kshatriya himself, he's taking such a low position of being a driver, chariot driver. So seeing how much he can serve the devotees, how the Lord serves his devotees, I'm getting tears. And Mahaprabhu hugged, embraced that Brahmana and he said, you, out of all these Brahmanas, you are the one who understood Bhagavad Gita perfectly. So if the author is giving validation that you have understood my scripture correctly, that's the best thing. In this way, we also need to figure out what we can do, what choices we can make, which pleases the Lord very nicely, right? So I'll probably wrap this up in just 5 more minutes. So that's where Krishna telling that, if you don't have faith in me, you will suffer here. It's his loving way of giving us caution. And not just Krishna, even Acharyas do this, right? Shankaracharya also, he says the same thing, what Krishna is telling here. Krishna is saying, if you don't have faith, you will go through cycle of birth and death and you will suffer. Shankaracharya says the same thing. When he was going in Kasi and he saw an old Brahmana about to leave his body, sitting there studying grammar, that's when Shankaracharya composed this beautiful prayers. He started singing, Samprapte sannihite kale nahi nahi rakshati dokran karane bhaja govindam govindam bhaja mudhamate. So he says samprapte sannihite samprapte sannihite kale nahi nahi rakshati. These rules of grammar that you are studying, it will not save you at the moment of death. These grammar will not help you remember the Lord at the moment of death. So instead, he's offering a prayer to the mind of sorts. He's scolding the mind. Oh mudamate, foolish intelligence, foolish mind, please render loving devotion to Govinda, to the Lord, right? Because if not, then you will get stuck in this punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, this cycle you will get stuck. This is the same warning Acharyas, Krishna, everybody are giving again and again and again to us, right? And if you see, just before the war, Krishna and Duryodhan went to Krishna. Arjuna and Duryodhan went to Krishna. And what did Krishna do? He asked first Duryodhan, what do you want? Me or my army? Narayani Sena. What did Duryodhan pick? Narayani Sena. Then he asked Arjuna. What did Arjuna pick? Krishna, right? This choice they had to make once before the war. We have to make this choice at every step of our life, every moment of our life. Should I go to the mall or should I go to Katha? Should I chant or should I watch a movie? Should I, sit somewhere or enjoy something or should I serve the Lord? This choice, every moment of our life, we need to make, right? And Shankaracharya, Krishna, all of them are repeatedly saying, choose Krishna, not his resources, right? Ravan chose resources of Lord Ram. Mother Sita, she represents material nature, material energy. So he chose Lord's resources, Lord's material energy. He got attracted to that, right? And he wanted to enjoy these resources separately from Lord Ram. But Hanuman wanted to bring them together. He wanted to serve Mother Sita together along with Lord Ram, right? So it's up to us which path we choose, how we make that choice. And we have to make that choice throughout, at every single step of our life. But to do that, we need to have faith in the Shastras. Okay? So I'll stop here, 5:45. Any questions, any comments? Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, I'm asking, and maybe a very foolish question. So when we say we go to Rameshwaram or Ganges, we take bath, we wash off our sins.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe that this is a fact. Yeah. Same thing is said for Guru. And again, my question is only contextual to devotees.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about in general. Only devotees. Yeah. One specific use case, devotees in two places. Yeah. And somebody getting diksha from Guru Maharaj. Yeah. And we say that Guru Maharaj accept all your sins and your sins are washed off. As you said, that your past is being taken care of, future is your choice.
Yeah.
In both situations, is it exactly same thing? Because see, for a devotee, his motives are same. Whether he goes to Ganges or Rameshwaram, his motive is to get mercy of Lord.
Yeah.
He's not asking for material benefits.
Yeah.
In front of Guru Maharaj also, when he's accepting Diksha, his motive is the same only, to get bhakti and get mercy of Krishna. So is it same or still the mercy of Guru Maharaj is more than these things?
No. So the way you said it, it's the same. If somebody is going to Ganges with the motive of loving devotional service for the Lord versus taking initiation with the mode of loving devotional service for the Lord, it's the same. Because Krishna pays attention to our intention. Krishna sees with what intent are we serving him, right? Somebody is going to Ganga or any place with the intent that, oh, I'm going through a bad time, I don't have a job, I don't have this, that, and that's why I'm going, then that might get fulfilled. That karma, obstacle might get removed. But then their real gain doesn't happen. And the difference here is when we go to Ganga and take that bath also, there's an element of Agyat Sukriti there. We might not know the full glory of Mother Ganga. Just go take the bath because we have some faith, preliminary faith. But when we go take Diksha from a Guru, we are already chanting. We are 16 rounds. We've already associated. Some Vaishnava has told us that this is a Guru, this is how you're supposed to deal, this is how you're supposed to take initiation. After initiation, this is what you're supposed to do. So there, it's more firm faith because you're already practicing that. It's not just hearsay, right? And that's a lifelong commitment you're taking. Taking bath in Ganga is a one-time activity. You can come back and do whatever. Here, in front of the fire, you're taking lifelong commitment that I will lead my life in a certain way. So that is where it's slightly different. But what you said reminded me of a very beautiful thing that I was reading. Bhagwat Gita is glorified a lot. Many acharyas glorify Bhagwat Gita. One commentator, he says that all the Vedas are like the forest. Right? Very beautiful. Now the forest is supposed to be scenic, green, very colorful, very fragrant and all of that. But what part of the forest gives us fragrance, color and all of that? Flowers. Right? So Vedas are the forest, Upanishads are the flowers. And among them, Bhagavad Gita is the garland. Right? So that's how they glorify that this is the finished product that you can just take and apply on the Lord. Shankaracharya, he wrote an entire scripture called Bhagavad Gita Mahatmaya, where he said that we should take bath in the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. He says, Maline mochanam pumsham, jalasnanam dine dine, sakrat gitamrata snanam, samsaram malanashanam. So he says that Maline mochanam pumsham, for human beings, when our body has mala, has dirt, jalasnanam dine dine, we take water bath. But sakrat gitamrata snanam, samsaram malanashanam. To take out the anarthas in our heart, we should take bath through the words of Bhagavad Gita, right? Now, we all know Bhaktivinoda Thakur, right? He's one of the acharyas of our sampradaya. He wrote an article where he said that Ganga flows in different times, Ganga flows differently, right? In the Satya Yuga, Ganga flows by touching the feet of the Lord, lotus feet of the Lord, Trivikrama, Vamanadev. It touches his feet and it comes down. That is why Ganga is pure. And anybody who takes bath in the Ganga with faith, they attain the lotus feet of the Lord along with that flow, right? That is in Satya Yuga. In Dwapara Yuga, Ganga did not come from the lotus feet of the Lord. Ganga came from the lotus mouth of the Lord, which is the Bhagwat Gita. And as per Shankaracharya's advice, anybody who takes bath in the shlokas, in the verses of the Bhagavad Gita, they get purified and they meet the Lord face to face, right? But Ganga also flows in Kali Yuga. And this time it is not coming from the Lord's lotus feet. It is not coming from the Lord's lotus mouth. It is coming from the loving tears of the Lord, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When he used to cry and dance and chant in ecstasy in Sankirtan, from his tears Ganga used to flow. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, any devotee who takes part in the Sankirtan movement of the Lord, they also get access and they also get the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right? So that is where Bhagavad Gita, any of these Shastras, it's very, very important for us to study them with faith and mold our lives according to the teachings of those Shastras. Because these are very, very powerful and again repeatedly emphasized. Because you told about Ganga Snan, I remembered this. Yeah. Anything else? Any takeaways, questions, comments? Okay. Otherwise, we'll wrap up. So we'll chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra once and we'll wrap up together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Sorry, in the last class, we discussed about Markut Vairagya and Yukta Vairagya.
Yeah.
And we were about to discuss Falgu Vairagya, but maybe I missed the point.
No. Falgu Vairagya is same as Markata Vairagya.
Achha, okay.
It's like external renunciation rather than internal change.
Done.
Yeah.
And you said 2 years Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his tenure stayed in Vrindavan. So how was Vrindavan those days? Was it like, because I know that Vrindavan, he instructed Sadhguru Goswami to discover.
Yeah.
So was it like a forest only? Or?
It was like a forest. Radha Kund, Shyam, nothing was there. He went and he said, this is this pastime place, this is this pastime place. So he told them, and then the remaining remaining ones, he instructed the Goswamis to excavate.
So I'm little curious, how can Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Radharani herself came out of Vrindavan and went to Jagannath?
Yeah, because he came in the mood of a devotee. He didn't come in the mood of enjoying Vrindavan. He came in the mood of showing an example to the whole world how a sannyasi should be, how a devotee should be, how loving relationship amongst devotees should be. So Chaitanya Charitamrita is all about loving exchanges. How seniors should be with juniors, how peers should be, all of those things, how grahastha should be. So he wanted to give that lesson. And if he was enjoying Madhurya in Vrindavan, he can't give those lessons. Because Vrindavan is above all of these formalities. That's why he came to Jagannath Puri, gave all these teachings.
I would like to add one point. When we were in Vrindavan, right, recently, Imlitan.
Yeah.
Imlitan, in fact, this exactly, it strikes my mind, exact same question, Prabhu. So it is written. So at one point of time in Imlitana, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was meditating, he became Krishna.
Yeah.
And then, because Radharani, right, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is nothing but a Radharani. He became Krishna, he turned bluish. And then he was actually relishing the Vrindavan Krishna. Then suddenly he got a realization, what am I doing? I am supposed not to enjoy the Krishna Vrindavan. I am supposed to be as a devotee, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then he decided at that point of time to leave Vrindavan and then it is written Prabhu on the wall.
Yeah.
With Srivas Prabhu read actually, so that's when I said.
Very nice, yeah.
Then he left to Jagannath Puri. I had this question also. Why? Because Vrindavan is something where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should have released. Just to understand